here. So I wrote some short stories coming from invented. I made up 5 Russian authors, Russian writers that wrote about Russia and about everything, of course. This anthology has 2 prefaces. A shorter one is written by me, and it's a few notes on anthology, and it's the point 1 that says, I visited Minsk 2 years ago at the invitation of the Belarusian critic Karl Barlovich. The hotel he booked me into, one of the city's 2 of the 3 prestige hotels, was near the center. The first morning I went down for breakfast, I picked up a laminated sheet of paper, a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. It was the menu. The menu, in English, was at the top, and in the local language at the bottom. By each dish was a number that served to connect them in both languages. Apart from omelette, the remaining options were only recognizable via English translation. I ordered number 3, ham. But when it arrived, an omelette sat in the middle of my plate. An undercooked, greasy, plain omelette. I told the waitress she had made a mistake, that the omelette must be for another table, but she rudely told me that it wasn't, that it was mine. She seemed to be telling me to eat, whether I could like it or not. The following morning, that waitress was not on duty. I ordered ham, pointing to the ham on another table, and they brought me ham. Juicy ham, juicy and off the bone ham. As on the previous day, I didn't risk the coffee. On my 3rd day, the waitress was back. I tried to avoid her radius of activity. If she went right, I went left. If she headed to the entrance, I went towards the exit. A total waste of time. As soon as I sat down, she came and asked me what I wanted, and brought me another omelette. In protest, I cut into thin slices and shaped them into a no on my plate and left. The 4th time I went into the dining room, I ordered ham for 4th time. But before the waitress could return from the kitchen, I got up and spoke to the maître, who theoretically, excuse me, that's my jet lag, who theoretically knew a little English, and asked him why they brought me omelette when I had ordered ham. He looked at the sheet, the menu, and said he didn't understand. I persisted. He told me to sit down. They would bring me my ham, but when the waitress came, she brought me yet another omelette. I pursued the maître on my high horse and dragged by the arm to my table an omelette. The maître scratched the scruff of his neck, asked in the kitchen, asked the waitress, and was none the wiser. That's to say, he looked at me as if I were an awkward customer, someone who orders an omelette and then complains when they bring it, saying he had ordered ham. That was for real, by the way. That was not a fake. So that happened. That happened. By the 5th day, I was beginning to see this as a matter of honor, and was fortunate that the lady sitting on the next table, an air hostess, spoke both English and the local language. I asked her if she had had any problems or if they brought her what she ordered, or if it was traditional to serve omelette, or if there was a 5-year overproduction of eggs. The lady, who initially didn't understand what I was talking about, and told the matron I was talking about, and told the matron, already on his way looking horrified, that there was nothing to worry about, that glanced at the menu and laughed. Someone has made a mistake copying out the translation and had put one dish down twice. As a result, 3 for ham became 3 for omelette, and the remaining dishes were out of order as well. I checked the other menus that were photocopies of a photocopy. I grabbed them and all went in pursuit of the matron, who was beginning to look daggers at me. I told him it was all down to a mistake on the menu, that all the dishes in English were wrong. He said right, that was true. But as they had so few customers from abroad, I asked him if they would change them, and he said they would. But the day after, and the soups and I'm so tired today. I asked him if they would change them, and he said they would. But the day after, and subsequently, the photocopies were the same, intact. I ordered number 4, which was a total mystery, but matched the ham of the bone in the local language, and they brought it, looking equally sour, but they bring it. After battling so many mornings, I suddenly remembered some of the stories Anastasia told me about, and in particular, their constant reference to exhaustion, resistance, and hardness, as well as sense of humor, that is a form of resistance against injustice that rages everywhere, even at tourist breakfast.